Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Hope we're all doing fantastic. Just bear with me here as I'm just making sure everything is working. We're still figuring out this whole new computer thing. Why is that not working now? I think it is. We'll find out. Might be our first issue with the new PC streaming so far. We just have lost our audio. We're a little loud too. We're going to turn that down a little tiny bit. Alright, so it's been a tough day. The game Project Motor Racing, new release for Sim on the PlayStation 5, Xbox, and PC here today. Coming from Straight 4 Studios and Giant Software. And I gotta say, the general overall consensus so far from the people who have tried the game and played it, to what extent I can't say. Haven't exactly had nice things to say about it per se, so I mean, all things aside, after watching all of the reviews from other content creators and listening to my own community's thoughts, those that have tried it already, and then of course being in the PMR Discord server and seeing the absolute mayhem that's going on in there, I feel sorry for the guys in the server there, the devs, the people running the show over there, because they're getting absolutely um, torched and pitchforked right now on the Discord server. So we need to keep in mind, folks. I mean, it's a tough one. We are consumers, so we expect to get what we pay for. They left us with expectations that they haven't fully delivered through upon release, but at the same time, I'm kind of not surprised because, I mean, name a video game that has been released recently that's 100% perfect and polished right on day one release. Ever since the day and age of digital downloads and patch updates, it just doesn't exist anymore. Um, the reason behind the way the game is the way it is currently on release is really just speculation amongst the regular people. We don't really know the situation, but we're going to go and take a look for ourselves. I mean, at the end of the day, um, I'm personally a little bit bored with GT7 and have been looking for other things to stream and play, but still try to keep in the sim racing end of the market, you know what I mean? And Rensport came out recently, but it just didn't. It just didn't come out with a lot of content, so it wasn't worth enough money to me, in my opinion. So I decided to pull the trigger on this one, Project Motor Racing. So, um, regardless of what I've seen and read today, I mean, it gives me a little bit of insight of what I'm up to expect, I suppose. But I'm still gonna go and do my thing and just see. I mean, right out the initial bat without even doing anything. All I've done is come in and set my wheel up at this point, changed a few of the general settings. Um, we'll make an adjustment for whatever it is we're racing once we get into that portion of it, because again, due to videos coming out, we've learned a little bit about certain things about the game that will help. But at the end of the day, this isn't plug and play like Gran Turismo is, and never expected it to be a plug and play style sim racing game. It is a type of sim racing game where tunes, understanding air pressures, and small adjustments can make a difference on a racetrack. And with that being said, of course, wheel settings and making adjustments depending on the type of car you're driving is also going to be a part of what Project Motor Racing will most likely eventually end up as they continue working on developing and making the issues with the game better and just making the game generally overall better. So, I mean, we'll just dive in and we'll see what we see, and we'll just get into it. I mean, that's all we can do. Just gonna make sure I flip over to the right screen, and let me know if the audio gets a little bit out of hand once we get into some actual audio, because I'm going to switch it over to my bigger screen. Alright, so we're running down a screen essentially right now on the stream until we buy a new one for the new PC. So things are a little bit tricky. Let's get rid of this PS5 controller out of the way before somehow, someway it causes us an issue. And I mean, let's just dive in. Let's just see what we can figure out here. I mean, right off the bat, the one thing I notice is that when I go to press my up and down button, it doesn't fully respond right when I click the button. So immediately, that's the first thing I notice, right? It seems just a little bit sluggish, I guess, on the UI side of things, but all we can do is really try. I've never raced Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. I don't know. I mean, decent selection, right? We got sports cars. A couple of iconics right there. Camaro, Mustang. Oh, there's my baby. Oh, hey, the Viper? Wow. Look at that. Love it. MX-5s are always good. That's probably what we'll end up doing first. We got GTEs. We got our GTs. It's a pretty decent selection of cars right off the bat. I mean, in all honesty, there's what, 7 or 8 different classes of cars there. Some classes, granted, only have one car, but they are kind of only designed to be in one make series. So, I mean, we got LMP here, and we got the Hypers. Now, the hypercars are pretty broken to the best of my understanding, so let's go jump into GT3. Let's go check it out. I don't know the track at all, keeping this in mind. I've never, ever, ever raced this track, so we're going to be doing a little bit of learning here. A whole lot of learning here. Alright, just give me a tips on what you think the audio needs adjusting, because it's probably going to need some adjusting. Alright, let's get into it. I mean, I'm sure we could mess around with all this stuff, but... Oh, wow. very ACC-esque in this sense right here. Yeah, better. All right. All right, let's go see how GT3 feels. All right, we gotta make a quick adjustment here. All right.
All clear.
That's another day of the game. That's just me being a noob.
Five minutes to go.
Ooh, easy girl. I mean, we should know better than to do that in an MR, right? Oh, we died. Oh, shit. $100? Are you crazy? Well, you know what? I mean, I've been looking for other games to play on the stream. And I knew I was going to be upgrading the PC shortly, so yeah, definitely looking for I mean, other things to play. I mean, we bought NASCAR when it released as well, and I mean, in all honesty, over the last the last 3 or 4 sims that I've bought, and they've come completely unpolished on release day, right? So I mean, it's no different here, but so far the car's a little bit floaty. Now I'm on a T300 RS racing wheel and I'm on TLCM pedals. Um, I don't feel that you need to be quite as aggressive on the pedals as you did in ACC. So there's a little bit more leniency there. However, it's very understeery. You can hear it and you can feel it in the wheel, even in a straight line. It almost feels like the tires are still fighting you for some reason. And the car's a little bit floaty. Now, granted, I don't know the racetrack, so maybe what we should do is change the racetrack to something I know. I'm Canadian, so I wanted to, you know, get all over that, right? Nürburgring GP 24, Nordschleifer, Red Bull Ring, Lagos. Zolder's a great track. I don't know it that well though. We got Bathurst, Lime Rock Park, Kyalami, Daytona, Spa. Let's go to Spa. All right, let's do that. I mean, I haven't really done much yet. I just set the wheel up. I kind of checked out the car list. I just started running some laps in Lamborghini Evo on Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, and I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it didn't feel terrible, but I don't know the racetrack very well, so I can't really make a proper impression. So I'm gonna head to Spa here, somewhere where I do know the racetrack much better, and we'll see how the car feels now in comparison. Let me know how the audio is too, please, while you're watching. I mean, especially as I'm running, because it's going to need to be tweaked. Alright, we're just going to go with stock settings. I mean, the car sounds like a GT3 car, kind of, to some extent or another.
Clear.
Alright, let's see. Oop, hit the wall. mean, again, the wheel could definitely be tighter. Like the car doesn't feel like it's fully responding to what my input is. Easy goes. I mean, it doesn't feel terrible. It really doesn't feel terrible in the GT3 car per se. Obviously, I did take some time to set my wheel up, but I haven't tested it, so. Oh, yeah, my bad. Oh. It's a little hard to tell what the car is doing on exit because it doesn't really fully feel connected to the road. And that might just have to do with the wheel being lazy as well. Okay, she didn't like that. Okay. So the GT7 downshifting, pop downshifting, does not work here. That well, prime example. I shifted too early and it absolutely kicked the ass of the car right out from underneath me.
You've got 5 minutes left.
Oh, we cooked it. See if we can just prop a lap in now. Kind of got a feel for it. No, I just want to go to the next part. Oh. Alright. So, I mean, I tried to push there and the car just didn't want to respond, right? I mean, it wanted to respond, but with the lack of force feedback or tightness in my wheel, it's really hard to understand how much turn in the car's going to get. You know, recovery of the car seems to be okay when it's in a partial OO situation, but I mean, in that moment there where the car started to go sideways, I mean, that was it. There was no recovering it, no matter what we did there. You know, if we had a little bit more tug, I guess, in the wheel a little bit, I think that would help with that situation a little bit better, but I mean, obviously being a noob and a pleb kind of plays into that a little bit as well. Yeah, I seen what Jimmy said, and I seen what you know, all of them have said, really. But I mean, the fact that I've only gotten I didn't even get a proper lap in there. So we're gonna have to do better than that. We are going to have to do better than that. Alright, let's see if we can put a proper lap in. Hey, how's it going?
Clear of pit lane.
Pulling to the right, too, for some reason. Thanks, homeboy. Appreciate you. Alright, that's cool. Sure. Wow. Wow. I've got my force feedback all the way to 100. I mean, I watched I have to go watch that video again. He explains what some of these things do. Yeah, I mean, oops, where is it? I think it's. Alright, so AI sucks. We already know that, though.
Didn't set a time, so we'll be at the back.
Alright. You full sending him as they're online, Rock? Yeah, I'm gonna go check them out too. I just wanted to see how the GT3s felt, right? I mean, that's what we're all kind of interested in, obviously. I know that the hypercars are hella broke.
You're clear.
Alright, try and get this right this time. It is like an MR though. I mean, if you're not putting a little bit of throttle into it in the corner, you're not fully stable. So I mean, it does act like an MR would. You would expect an MR to act. So I'll give it that. Uh-oh. That's not a good thing.
Start of your timed lap. Make it count.
Alright, let's get it right. Tires are still cold. lucky not to get track limit right there. All right.
Five minutes remaining in the session. Fastest lap.
Whew, butchered that corner. Way to go. Totally murdered Losaurus right there. Alright, let's try to push this one a little bit. We got a car closing in on us here. Definitely don't want him to get too close, or he's just gonna punt us off the racetrack.
Left.
Rip. GT3s don't feel that bad once you get to heat the tires. The floatiness doesn't disappear, but I mean, it could be worse.
Checking flag this lap. Wrap it up.
Alright. Yeah, I know that. I'm not worried about that right now. I'm just trying to get the game for what it is, right? Yeah, I'm going to. I'm going to run this race and then I'm going to go jump into some Miatas probably.
We can try and balance the car for longer run pace, but I was really hoping qualifying would go better for us.
Well, I'm a noob. I mean, I'm a pleb. What can I say? Like .034? Oh, rip. Oh.
Gonna be a messy start, man. So many.
That's alright. Let's just do it.
Good luck, mate.
Gotta hit the shifter. Interesting, you can shift it into neutral. Yeah, it definitely does not come off that racing line. You really got to think about how you're going to get around them.
Race officials caught a track limit violation.
Alright, well, we didn't crash. Tires are really hot. We gotta cool it down for a second. We gotta let the tires cool down. This is very ACC-esque right now. Alright, let's close up some ground here.
Race officials noted a track limit violation.
Oh, come on! But that's not? What the hell? AI definitely needs work. Big time compromised ourselves there, but we kept the spots. Alright, I think we're in 5th place right now. Crawling back alright.
Officials flagged a track limit violation.
The crashing sounds are kind of bad. Car definitely has damage, I can feel it. Alright, that was a little ambitious. That was a little ambitious. That was on me.
Track limit violation confirmed by officials.
That was a little ambitious. That was a little more clean.
You committed
Damn
a
it.
track limit violation.
Yeah, no, that was all me. That was just really ambitious of me. 12 lap race, so that's a long race. Alright. Give it another whirl here. Holy, I'm stopped dead, guys. Jesus. Huge damage already. Jesus. Alright, we gotta restart that. That's just nothing but sloppy right from start to finish right there. I'm not trying to win the race, I don't care about that. But man, this AI is terrible. Alright, let's try to pick them apart strategically here.
Officials found a track limit violation.
Jesus Christ. It's impossible. Yikes.
track limit violation.
Okay.
Officials flag a track limit violation.
There, how's it feel, fucking idiot? Jesus Christ. Fucking needs work as an understatement, but they fucking do it on purpose. Fuck man, he hit me about fucking 20 fucking goddamn times. Alright, let's try to get this a little cleaner. Just gotta kind of slot your way in, man. I guess that's what it seems like.
Police officials noted a track limit violation.
Oh, get bent. Car just does that fucking no reason. I gotta fix something here. Keep getting distracted because my fucking laptop won't stay fucking running. There, stupid thing. Keep looking over to frickin' flip his mouse so it can stay on. Fucking Christ. This is enough for me to stop playing tonight, just the AI. I mean, this is not even fun. Like, how are you supposed to get a proper experience when you can't even take a line?
Track limit violation.
Wow, it actually showed me a tiny little bit of respect there. It gave me room. That's impressive. Alright. Alright. Way huge amount of understeer right there. Nice being able to drive on the curbs and not just immediately die, unlike GT7. God damn it. Locked up. Nothing I could do, I couldn't stop it.
Race officials caught a track limit violation.
That's fine. I'll take it. I'm not slowing down to 60. Yeah, I've had enough of that. I've had enough of that. Fuck off. Jesus Christ, man. Needs work as an understatement. I mean, we're North American. I know it might not be the ideal spot, but... Well, you can't do that with the way the AI is right now. Josh twice has told me my LAN cable is not connected. I mean, that one makes the most sense for right now. Alright. Let's do it. Ah, there isn't one with my number? Rip. Well, in the spirit of St. Jude's, let's take a pink one. I don't know why it's in the United Kingdom. Alright. I'm not trying to dive into them, I'm just trying to get around them before the corner. It's because you know they're just gonna hit you.
Clear of the pits.
Oh, we're not doing a chicane. Okay.
Looking good.
Wow. What the fuck was that? Jesus Christ. fucking outright slams me.
You're clear.
The autos are very responsive. Very, very responsive. So the lower end cars seem to react a lot better to the current physics model and feedback setup. I mean, the Miata feels great. I'm not second guessing where the car is going to end up, except for when it does that. Alright, let's just go into qualifying. Yeah, no, the Mazda feels really good. Let's just go qualify. I know the track, surprisingly enough.
Hammer down now.
Tires are a little cold.
You're on the clock now. This lap is counting. Well done. The timing screen shows you're the fastest car out there right now.
Got that wrong.
Fastest on track, mate.
Oh, a little too antsy there.
Five minutes to the end.
Alright, good enough. We get the gist.
That's pole, mate. Amazing stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not way ahead of them, but... I mean, I'm still feeling the game, audience. It's different. I'm enjoying
Focus
it,
on the
though.
lights.
Alright, we're in pole, so we gotta get moving. Like, way ahead of him, and he just absolutely fucking slams into me. Like, what a shit show. What's the point of even qualifying in this game with the AI being that fucking bad? Like, there's 0 point in playing this game until multiplayer comes online because of the AI.
Didn't set a time, so we'll be at the back.
Like, 0 point. It's unfortunate. Yeah, he's got to have awareness, man. Especially when your bank account's on the line.
Fastest car in the session.
Oh, we took a risk there, boy. Like, it's such bullshit, man. It's impossible. Absolutely impossible. Like, they didn't even brake there. I'm on the brakes in the actual braking zone, downshifting to the proper gear, and he just slams right into me, drives right through me. Like, get the fuck out of here. Seriously, there's no point in playing this game right now. There's no multiplayer because they've got to shut down because it's broke as fuck, and the AI is so fucking bad, you can't even race properly.
Not ideal, we're starting last, so I hope you're ready for it.
So I'm not really enjoying my experience so far, PMR. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, what's the point of playing $150 worth of game when none of it works? I might as well just go back to GT7 and go to daily races. I could race kids that do the same shit that this AI does.
Nice lap.
Fucker! Fuck, man! Zero fun. I'm trying this one more time, and if they just knock me off the racetrack again, I'm done playing this game till they fix the AI. Or until multiplayer is working, because there's 0 point in racing the AI. It's not a fun race. They don't race properly. There's 0 fucking point, man. Like, I am not enjoying this one bit.
Start.
It's a joke.
Good luck, mate. You can do it. Fastest on track, mate. limit violation confirmed by officials. Fastest car in the session. Last lap. Push as hard as you can. Make the most of it. the podium. Sponsors will be happy.
Alright, let's take a look at this replay. Nope, just a career race at Lime Rock. Ugh, very grainy. Very grainy. That was the cleanest attempt I had. Now, there's no point in doing a license test till they got the multiplayer fixed. They have the multiplayer servers down right now so they can attend to the issues with the multiplayer servers, so the multiplayer servers won't be up until they've fixed it. But for some reason it keeps telling me my LAN cable's disconnecting from my PlayStation. Well, that's a little odd. Fucker. Totally just came into me there. I thought I heard my tire dragging on the fender too there after that happened, so there is a little bit of realism to the damage there, I think. They just zero awareness. They are literally programmed to stick to that racing line. You know, AI at 100% strength, you would expect would, you know, be aware. You would expect that they're going to fight back. They're going to defend a little bit going into the corners. And probably make some contact because that's what AI does, right? I mean, that's what you expect of AI at 100. Now, if I'm comparing AI to GT7, the AI in GT7 is way smarter and actually does allow racing room most of the time. They still do stupid stuff like braking in straightaways and out of corner exits when you really shouldn't need to, but it seems like to be a thing that all sim games tend to do. But I mean, it just outright sticks to the racing line here. It doesn't have any regard to another car in front of, behind, beside of. If you're on that racing line partially and they're there too, they are going to hit you. I mean, that's just the bottom line here right now. So they need to really deal with that. I mean, the AI has to be adaptive. It is an artificial intelligence and it can't learn. So, I don't know, you compare it to NASCAR's AI goes up to like 120 on NASCAR, and I mean, the higher the AI, the more aggressive they get, and the faster they get. So, AI needs a massive rework, for sure. And that's what I mean. It kind of takes, you know, I take a lot of pride in being a clean racer, so maybe some of them attempted passes are a little bit shisty, but I mean, when the AI literally gives you no room around a racetrack to get around them so you can make your career earnings, you don't have a choice. You're forced to make improper decisions in and out of corners to try and get around them, and then they hit your car, and that's, at the end of the day, in this game in career mode, is costing you money. So the cone physics look pretty good there. Just gonna say, you know, my car hit the cone there, the cone went flying, it bounced off another car, went flying off in the right direction after the car hit it. So I mean, there's aspects of the game there that are definitely seem to be sitting there properly. But the AI is a big issue. I mean, for people that want a good immersive solo campaign, I mean, PMR was promising that, right? And right now it's not there. I mean, the AI has to be better in order for them to really sell this game on a solo player career mode that's above and beyond all other career modes out there. The potential is there. The potential is massive. The fact that you have a bank account, you can control your sponsorship pass, and everything that you do on the racetrack affects the bottom dollar. I mean, I think that's an incredible idea, and I think that's going to force a lot of the sim racers to actually learn how to race more properly. And I think that's kind of the objective behind the whole career campaign in PMR here. But right now, the AI needs work. The AI needs work. Like there, you know, he made a good attempt at a move there. He took a nice inside line there. He tried to get a hole, and then he backed out, right? So, I mean, there's signs of intelligence there. Maybe we just need to give it time, but it looks like the AI needs a serious rework. I like the game. The GT3 cars could be a little bit better yet. As far as handling goes, they're a little floaty, which causes them to snap a little bit unpredictably at times. MX-5s feel great. MX-5s feel great. I mean, they feel fantastic. They respond when you turn the wheel. They turn. You can, you know, every input you put into these MX-5s seems to be correct with the wheel, the settings. So, MX-5s seem to be really well done. It seems to be that the higher downforce and the faster the cars are, that's where the problem's starting to lie here in PMR, and they don't have that high-speed physics properly yet. So, we'll have to wait and see. I'm not even going to attempt the hypercars. I know they're really broken. And really, I would have liked to have done some multiplayer racing today to see how the game is. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of us are looking for another multiplayer platform to potentially run leagues off of. That's why I'm here. I really want to put this game through the gears and through the grinds to do some championship league racing with bigger grids here. But right now, the way the game's sitting, we don't even have that. We've only got our 16-car grids, so it doesn't look as good as GT7 in a spectator point of view. However, the damage looks fantastic. It's a little unrealistic, but only a little. I earned $5,560. Now, how much is it going to cost to fix my car? We made about $1,600 there. A pinch less is an understatement. I mean, I'm probably not going to race any more career mode until they really honestly attest to that a little bit, because well, so far we've spent $86,000 and we've only made $5,560. So better hope we win a chunk of this money on this event. The first thing I did was jumped into a GT3 car, and the GT3 car felt surprisingly better than I expected based off of all the feedback from you know, everything that's been going on today with the reviews and all that stuff, right? So how is he ahead of me in the standings? I beg your pardon? Oh, you got pole position. No, that qualifying's important, I guess. That's fine. Live and you learn. Um, the AI is a problem though. I mean, with the way that like I said, with the way they got the career mode set up, and it costs everything costs you money. Every hit, every tire rub, every door handle bang. I mean, it costs you money. Um, I thought my phone was ringing. It's background music in the game. I'm running the music really low. I don't know if you guys can hear it on the stream or not. You may not be able to. That's kind of the point. I'm trying to get it to where I could just hear it in the background, but I'm trying not to get the YouTube algorithm to pick it up because the one thing that this game does have going for it right now is the soundtrack is pretty sweet. Um, yeah, exactly right. I mean, the AI needs some work. It needs some work. The physics overall aren't terrible. Um, they need to fix the understeer issue. I mean, even when you're driving in a straight line, your wheel shakes as if it has understeer going into a corner. Or you're pushing wide into a corner, like you brake locked. Even when you're in a straight line, it seems to still have that effect where it feels like you have uh, understeer going on in the car. But I mean, to be honest, feel fantastic. So, what can I expect early on in PMR right now? Well, I can tell you one thing that we can expect early on in PMR. MX5s are absolutely fantastic to race. I would assume that the Porsche 992 Cup cars are probably just as equally as good. We'll jump into one of them maybe here next. Um, and then as we move up into the GT3 and the higher downforce cars, I suspect that the quality of um, attention to detail starts to slip a little bit. So I think early on, I think we could probably have some pretty good epic open lobby Miata racing. But I would really like to get rid of 16 car grids and see those 32 car grids come back. That's a big thing for me. That was a big selling point for me was the 32 car grids. And now they can't seem to cross play this with PC all of a sudden. And now all of a sudden we're back stuck down to 16 car grids. Um, I don't think that that is a fix that a patch is just necessarily going to clean up and take care of. I think that that is a much larger issue. It is probably going to have to be dealt with in the engine itself, and I think that that could be weeks or months before we see some of these really effective changes. Um, I am in the PMR Discord server, and I do want to say something. I mean, I don't know who's watching right now. I don't know who's in that server right now, but I do want to say thank you to the Winter Circle community today. There's many of us that have purchased a game, we've pre-ordered the game, and we're sitting here with the same amount of or some form of disappointment in our hands and in our faces, right? Um, I mean, they didn't deliver what they promised upon release, which is not a big surprise. Uh, but overall, it's not a flop. I mean, you could probably put it right there with Red Sport, I suppose, in some senses, and in some senses not. I'm sure there's pros and there's cons. There's lots of content available, which is great, but unfortunately, we don't get to utilize all that content effectively yet. Um, so I guess we'll see what happens over the next 7 to 10 days with the game. I suspect within the first couple of weeks, they're going to assess all the easier to address issues quickly, and then the more larger to address issues are gonna take time. And most likely, we could probably expect to see that in a monthly update or maybe one of the quarterly DLC updates. But hopefully not. Hopefully, we get those bigger fixes we need in the game rolled out sooner than that. But we have to be patient. So I mean, just to the Winter Circle, thank you for not absolutely just be busting up the devs' asses in the Discord server today. I seen a lot of feedback from the sim racing community directly to the Project Motor Racing devs and mods in the PMR Discord server, and some of it was very constructive, some of it was very honest and opinionated, and some of it was just outright disrespectful and rude. Now, we have to remember something here, folks. Gran Turismo 7 was released because it was forced out by the bankroll and a developer and Sony and PlayStation and all the people that have the contract with Gran Turismo 7. They forced them to release the game. GT7 released the game, and it came out in not any better shape than PMR is out right now. And I mean, if you're going to sit there and say, no, 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 Ghost, you're crazy, that's not the case, take a long, hard look back 3 years ago. Go look at the Super GT videos and the Jimmy Broadbent videos and all these creators' videos, just like they did for PMR, and go look at their initial early review videos, and they are not going to have a whole ton of positive feedback in the sense of how the game was shaped upon release. No different here at PMR. GT7's been out for 3 years. They've had 3 years now to refine and perfect their game and have yet to do so, in my opinion. That's why we were all so excited for Rennsport, PMR, NASCAR to come out, because we are looking for some variety, something that could potentially replace that hole that GT7 is not filling. We're disappointed because, of course, no game seems to deliver upon release anymore. So I spent a lot of money on this game, just like the rest of you out there. For those of us that are sitting on the fence wondering if we should buy the game, I would say hold off. I'm not saying don't buy the game. It's bad, it's crap, it's shit. Bin it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. Already I could tell there is huge potential here. And there are some parts of this game right upon release day, like the Miatas, the Porsche 992 Cup cars, the GT4 cars, even the GT3 cars aren't horrible. And I think once we get the multiplayer functionality finally working in the game, hopefully soon, I think that we're going to see some much better content coming from PMR, and I think we're going to start seeing a little bit of a reverse reaction from some of those content creators that seem to think that it's just um, are jumping on the hate bandwagon right now. I mean, I'm just being honest here. Am I disappointed? Yes, I am very disappointed. I was excited for this game. I did tons of research between this game and Rennsport and iRacing NASCAR when they were all announced leading up to the point of where we are now today, and all three are released. Rennsport, in my opinion, was a big flop. They drop a game with 3 cars, 3 tracks, and everything costs money. Moving forward, not exactly my style of game. If I want to do that, I just bought a new PC. I'll go play iRacing, right? I mean, I'll go to a game that isn't perfected, but much better sim quality. PMR, I'm looking for a different reason. You know, I'm looking for GT45 gaming championships in the future. You know, I'm looking for bigger grids, more ways to design and develop championships, proper multi-class racing. You know, we did multi-class in early 2025 here at GT45 Gaming with the LMP1s and the GT3s. And if we had another 6-8 cars allowed in the grid on GT7, that series would have been absolutely amazing. But because we're restricted to 16 car grids, because we have a commentator, i.e. myself in this case, it literally only allows a spot for 15 racers, so you have 8 and 7 basically, and that's no fun, right? I mean, with a 32 car grid, you could have 3 classes, you could have 10 cars a class, and then have a couple extra cars in 2 of the extra classes, or whatever, however it breaks down, right? I mean, that's 32 Miatas at Lime Rock Park. I mean, come on, as if that's not going to be fun, right? I mean, the potential is there. So should you buy Project Motor Racing? In my opinion, I mean, if you have the money to spare and you're looking for something different and you want to mess around, you want to check it out, the money doesn't hurt your pocketbook. I mean, personal preference. You know, if you're somebody who's in a financial pinch and really wants to buy a new sim game but doesn't know which one to buy, hold on for now. Put that money aside. Go use it for something more important. I don't think that Rennsport and or PMR are that polished ready yet. Not even for the solo part of the game, unfortunately, at the moment. I bought the year 1 bundle. I've got all the extra, all the extra bonus content and everything too today. And I mean, I'm fairly disappointed. I mean, I'm probably not going to play too much more here tonight because I just don't see any point in trying to progress through a career mode where the AI is literally going to potentially affect your bank account and potentially even bankrupt you because you come off the racing line, or you're forced to go to put yourself in such an improper position on the racetrack to try and make a pass because they just refuse to adapt to the situation, realize there's a car beside them, they have to give proper racing room, right? So there's some rules that need to be worked into the AI for sure yet. So career mode has massive potential. I think that once the AI gets a little more proper, I think that career mode is going to shape up a lot of sim racers out there that don't really have a clue how to properly race. So there is that. And like I said, I think the multiplayer potential is good. But right now with the 16 car grids, obviously, I mean, if you own GT7, there's not a lot of point in investing another $100 to get PMR because right now it's not ready. It's not even really ready for custom lobby racing at this point, in my opinion. But like I said, I'm in the Discord server there. I'll keep up with the update information as best as I can and keep rolling out all that newly released information as they release it in the server there. And we just have to at this point, be patient and hope that it gets better. I mean, for those of us that have bit the bullet and spent the money, I guess you have an option or two. There is a refund policy. I believe if you haven't downloaded the game yet, you can still get a refund for it through PlayStation. I think if you've downloaded the game at that point, good luck. You're basically going to be pulling your own teeth out trying to get a refund at that point. So you've just, kind of ate your $100. I mean, it is what it is. Um, I mean, I could have definitely used this money for something much better right now, but I'm not disappointed. I'm going to keep playing around with the game. We're going to do some testing on it. As they roll out patches and do certain fixes to the game, we'll get back on it and we'll come and continue to play around with it and test it. But, I mean, right now, really the only thing for us to do is go do some of those time trial challenges where there's not cars on track where you're not going to be interfered with, right? I mean, what else do you say? I feel bad. I have convinced some of my community members they should probably pre-order the game. It should come out pretty good, and unfortunately, it's the exact opposite. So, I guess yeah, I guess the end story here is don't believe all the hype you see online. And I mean, as frustrated as we may be to see games get delayed for months at a time, we're all going through this right now with Grand Theft Auto 6. Obviously, we were getting excited. We were within 6 months from release date, and they delayed it by another 6 months. Um, but I think GTA 6 realizes that if they drop an unpolished game upon release after all the hype and waiting 12 years for a new title, um, the community will burn them to the ground. So PMR felt that today. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it was rough in that Discord server today, in the PMR Discord server. I mean, if that was my server, I would have lost my patience pants well before the moderator team did in there and started actually taking community standards action on some of the people that were, in my opinion, very out of line. So if you're one of those people that got banned from the PMR Discord server today or muted, I mean, there's a reason for it. Discord servers have community standards. It is a social server site. And we have to remember that motorsports is a family event and it is a family sport, and B, that kids do play sim racing games and they are in these Discord servers. I have teenagers in my own Discord server of over 200 sim racers. So even though I'm not a content creator with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of subs on my page, I do have several sim racers that trust and believe in what we do as championship organizers and league organizers and running events, and they do trust our opinion in these things. And winners, just hold on, just hang tough. If you haven't pulled the trigger yet, don't pull the trigger yet. Christmas is around the corner. I'm sure there's way better things that you can do with that money, especially those of us that have families. Hang tough. Let's ride it out here for a couple of weeks, and let's hope that it continues to move in a positive direction. Once I feel like the game is to a point where it should have been, even I want to say 60% to where it should have been on release day, um, I'll let you guys and gals know in the server. Let you guys go, okay, you know what, the game's in good shape. Now it might be worth looking into if you were considering it. I'm not forcing any of my community to buy Project Motor Racing. I'm not here to float PMR's boat or the other opposite, or I'm not here to beef one game up over another. I'm here just to give an honest opinion as a regular consumer, a regular gamer, and a regular content creator who has a small community behind me. And I mean, I don't want to see my community go and waste a bunch of money on something that is not quite ready yet. I mean, is it fun? Absolutely. Um, but at the same time, the frustration of that AI immediately starts to set in because for me, I take a lot of pride in making my passes cleanly and undressing the opponent in front of me and getting the job done efficiently, right? I'm not there to knock doors and bang mirrors because he doesn't want to give up the racing line, right? And that right now is what the AI is. So until the AI starts to get a little more navigatable safely, I'm just, yeah, it's just not a ready game yet. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but it's just not ready yet. Um, I mean, our multiplayer doesn't even work on release. So, like I said, we lost the 32 car grids. We're down to 16 car grids currently because of crossplay network issues. I mean, the AI is absolutely terrible. One of the most terrible AIs upon a release of a sim racing game I've seen in quite some time, to be honest, if I'm going to be quite frank. I understand that the whole point of the AI is to force you to make smarter decisions and make make passes and maybe don't make that aggressive move when you think that there's a hole there, but that might not be a hole there. But even when there is the hole there and you take the hole, you take proper position, you give proper room, they don't care. They just slam into your car, which causes damage, right? So on an arcade racing for fun kind of thing, sure, it's probably fine and dandy for practice. If you own the game, you've already spent the money on it. Like I said, you can't get your money back if that's what you choose to do. It is what it is. Just go and get used to it. I don't think it's worth going to get a refund for. I really don't. I think that like I said, there is massive, massive potential here. Obviously, having the advantage of being at work all day, I've got to see a lot of the content creators' reviews and a lot of the community's input on things, and my own community's input on the game. So, I mean, we kind of had an idea on what parts of the game are really bad shape and what parts aren't. So I'm not even going to go bother, like I said, with things like the Group C cars right now or the LMPH, the hyper cars right now, because they're just not right. The AI is not right, and we don't have multiplayer to go test and mess around on. We can't get in and get ranked, so until kind of all these things are addressed, I mean, that kind of just shelves PMR for now. I mean, we just go back to our regular deal for now, and as they roll out these patches, we'll come back and we'll go live and we'll start testing these things out, and we'll see where the improvements are, and we'll see what's still broken, and I mean, as soon as we get a game that's worthy of running some, Miata spec races and having some open lobby nights with the community, we'll most certainly start doing that, just like we did on GT7. But for the time being, I mean, we just gotta shelf PMR. We gotta wait till it gets a little bit better. I want to enjoy my games when I play them. I don't want to have to be fighting with dirty AI. I don't want to have to be not being able to play online. So I mean, to me, the game is still in beta testing. I guess that's the best way to explain it. To me, the game is beta test ready. It's not release ready yet. Graphics wise, it's exactly what I expected. When you want a sim that has a really proper physics engine, you're not going to get the graphics engine. GT7 does not have a proper physics engine. It never has. It never will. It is all about looks and design, and the car driving experience, right? That's what Gran Turismo is based off of, and a lot of us are looking for a more proper sim game now, and that's why a lot of us had our hopes up for Rennsport and Project Motorsport, right? But at the end of the day, they're just not ready yet. Now, again, with time, I'm sure both titles will be fantastic. NASCAR's been improving its game since its release, and it continues to get better. But even now, after a month of being out, maybe 5 weeks now, I think it is, NASCAR's still not event ready, right? So, find a play just to mess around with. Go try out the campaign mode. I mean, if you want to take the challenge of how bad the AI drives and try to do these races clean without contact, I mean, it would most certainly be a very challenging thing to do in this game currently. Whether or not that makes you a better racer right now currently, I think that's kind of a 50-50, because like I said, they don't really drive properly. It forces you to go what I would consider not a smart decision in a lot of situations, to have to make that pass on the AI because of the way they are. So it's almost counterintuitive to what they're trying to do there. So I guess we have to wait and see. I mean, I still have high hopes for this particular title. And for me, I mean, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to sit right there on my home screen, and I'm going to continue to test and play around with it. But my general consensus is it was definitely not ready for release. It would not have hurt a PMR to wait another 3-6 months to really get the game polished. It just seems a little outdated right now. It needs to kind of catch up with the times, I guess. Physics wise, so far I like the physics. I mean, like I said, when the cars are responding to your inputs, the Miata, the MX-5, for example, does exactly what I expect it to do. If you push it too early, the car is going to float out wide. If you brake too much, you're going to scrub a bunch of speed and put yourself right back in the AI's grasp again, right? We definitely experienced that tonight. So, physics-wise, I think that the physics engine is in the right direction. Obviously, it's not perfect yet because they haven't gotten all the cars balanced. They still have force feedback issues yet. They still need to sort that out as well. I think that a little more tweaking on the force feedback system. Again, the what they did do is definitely in a better direction. You can somewhat grab the cars now. You can kind of feel the cars on the lower end aero and speed paced cars. So um, it has its pros and it has its cons, like everything else at the end of the day that gets released. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it maybe. I hate to say it, I got to give it a 4.5 out of 10 right now. If the simple fact is our multiplayer functionality is not even working. So, if multiplayer was working and stuff like that, it would probably be much more along the lines of maybe a 6 to 7 out of 10 rating. But right now, I'm definitely at about a 4.5 out of 10. It's just not quite there yet. Um, we already had our little bit of frustration just with the AI in the career mode. We had a little frustration with the AI in just the free run race weekend that we were doing there at Spa in the GT3 cars. Um, so yeah, I mean, it has its ups and it has its downs. Um, we'll put some more hours in on it and we'll get a better feel for it yet. I think that there's still a little bit of tweaking that I can do with the steering wheel yet. I think a little more research on the Project Motor Racing website. For those of us that are struggling to as well, there's two important things. This is not GT7. This is not plug and play. You can't just turn this thing on and go out there and race and expect that everything's going to work effectively and properly, right? We have to set certain aspects of our equipment in order for the game to appropriately calibrate it, right? So the one thing I noticed when I first turned the game on is it gets you to calibrate your steering wheel, right? Gets you to do a few simple tasks. And one of the simple tasks I noticed that it asks you to do is it tells you to turn your steering wheel to a 90 degrees and hold it there and then hit the button, right? When I turned my wheel to 90 degrees, I had 21% 21% input with that 90 degree or 21 degrees of rotation with a 90-degree input, right? So, um, they're definitely not there yet with the force feedback. So do take that time to set your wheel up. If you're not sure, there are a couple of videos out on YouTube right now on to give you a good baseline for all wheels, not just a specific type of wheel, but all wheels in general to at least get you started. And then from there, you just make little tweaks. Some of these videos also explain what a lot of these settings mean and what they can do and what they affect as well to help you kind of decide where you need to make those adjustments. But there's also secondary settings, and that's when you get into these races. You can also set the car settings up, and there's a couple of important little numbers there that you can change that'll help with the feedback in a particular class of car you're racing as well. We didn't do that tonight, but as we get deeper into the game and we start getting a little more involved with the game, we will do that. There is some tune setups already available for downloadable content in the game, and of course, for those of us about the Year 1 bundle, all your content should be sitting there already. A pretty decent amount of cars to start off with on game release, tenfold compared to Rennsport, but I mean, very small percentage in comparison to GT7, right? So, the difference is these are real cars, these are real racing cars, these are cars that have or still race currently, and these are all real world racing tracks. There's no fiction, there's no fake, there's no make believe here, except for the fact that they dropped the ball on release day. But, like I said, I'm in the Discord server. I do see them responding to the community the best they can. I do see the developers taking it in the chin big time today and getting kicked in the nutsack hard in the Discord server today. So, I mean, I'm not going to go in there and add fuel to the fire in that server because it's been crazy all day. But I definitely think that they have work to do. And if I'm going to place it somewhere in between all of the games that I play right now, it is, I would class ACC as closest to sim that I play currently, and then I would probably put NASCAR next to it with GT7 at the bottom of that list for real-time simulation. So where does PMR fit into those three games? Right in between NASCAR and ACC currently. It's a little bit better physics-wise than NASCAR for the most part, with the exception of course, those three higher downforce classes of cars. There's just a little bit more controllability when you're warming the tires up in the cars over NASCAR. And it's just not quite as floaty. There's more force feedback response than there is in NASCAR, even obviously after the patch. So this is version 1.5.2, I think it is. We're running right now. So this is the newest since the patch, the sporting update that we were running today. I mean, overall, I think, like I said, I'm pretty happy with the way the game feels. I think that they got a great foundation here, and I think that it's really going to do well in the future. But right now, it definitely needs some work. So for those that are sitting on the fence, hold on to your money right now. Don't pull the trigger. Wait. Definitely wait. Make sure that all the hype and all the tweets and all the messages from the devs and the bankrollers and all that stuff. Make sure that we'll sit here and make sure that they keep to their word and keep rolling out these fixes. But we also do need to realize that they are not going to be fixing everything right away. It's not possible. Some things are a much larger problem than I think a lot of the community realizes, and it is going to take time for them to fix that. And it's going to have to be rolled out with a proper update where the game has to be shut down while those changes are made effectively. Um, they got a lot of work to do. I mean, we're talking about cross compatibility with Xbox, PC, and PlayStation 5. That's a whole new logistical issue in itself, and is also the main root to the reason why we've only got the 16 card grids currently. So, I'm not exactly sure what the process is to going from beta to rolling out a functioning game to the consumer, but I'm not exactly sure how these guys felt that this was release date ready today when they dropped it, because it was most certainly not release date ready. Um, like I said, a 4.5 out of 10 right now from me. Um, with a high amount of potential. Am I getting rid of the game? No. Am I asking for a refund? No. Am I going to go yell and scream at the guys at the PMR Discord server? No, not at all. There's a lot of positives here. There's a lot of negatives here. And in the meantime, we still have lots of things that we can hang out, play, and race on until they get it sorted out. So I'm excited it's here finally. I'm excited that I finally get to get on and do something with it and get a feel for it. But at the end of the day, we're just not quite there yet. It's not quite play ready. So I'm going to wait till they address either both the AI and the multiplayer issues before we run this back again on the live stream. Until then, it'll just be some offline testing on it. We're going to go check out the spectator mode. We're going to go do the open lobbies. We're going to see what kind of features we have available to us currently as it sits. And then we'll see how those things progress as they fix and patch the game up, right? So it's not ready for league racing. You can't save replays yet. So for drivers to file incident reports, it's not there. You literally have to sit there post-race, watch the replay before you leave, and clip literally those things out right there and then. So I mean, there's some complications there. So championship ready, it is not 100%. Test event ready, not quite there yet either. Let's give it 2 weeks to a month before I get real serious about dropping a test series or some kind of test event. But do expect to see some open lobby nights here on PMR here from GT45 Gaming once we get some multiplayer fixes gone and we can actually get into the multiplayer side of the game a little more effectively. Now, to the best of my understanding, it doesn't affect the custom lobbies, but I mean, if the multiplayer servers are down for the ranked system, you can't say that it's not affecting the custom lobby system, because again, it's the exact same situation. You have people from all over the world trying to join lobbies from other people from all over the world. I feel like that is just a disaster waiting to happen, so there's no point in even attempting it right now. I like this game. I mean, I didn't play Project Cars 1, I didn't play Project Cars 2, so I don't have the older games to base off of where this game, comes from. I'm just a sim racer that comes from GT7 and ACC, and, that hosts championships and does commentary, and I'm looking to expand that and move into other areas of the sim racing network, right? And we're hoping that PMR is one of those games, so I'm hopeful. Disappointed, but the game, like I said, has a very solid foundation underneath of it. I think that it has great potential, and it really comes down to the appropriate constructive criticism coming from the community, and of course, a positive reaction from the dev team and in response to actually tending to sorting out issues with the game. I mean, if that means we just got to start with the easy to assess, fix things with simple little patch updates, so be it. But we got to start somewhere, and hopefully there's some smaller things they can do to attend to some of the bigger issues to make it a little more feasible right now. But unfortunately, I'm there with the rest of the content creators. It's not ready yet. So I mean, it comes down to personal preference, folks. Like I said, if you don't need to spend the money on it right now, I wouldn't. I would wait. Um, it's kind of in the same boat as Rensport right now, in my opinion, on release. It wasn't ready. Um, if you're thinking about getting it, in the future, is this something that you should just put in the bin? I don't think so. Um, I really do think that there is great potential here, and I mean, if I'm gonna believe any part of, I guess, the hype that was coming into the game is that the developers have passion for this game and they really truly do want it to be the best console sim racing game out there, and they did not achieve that on release day, that's for sure. But I mean, in all honesty, they don't have a whole lot of competition out there to fight against. So if they could just be proactive and get on these things and start addressing these issues, they very well could be the best console sim racing game out there, even though they took some seriously bad PR here today and over the last 24 hours, over the last week, really. So, um, community racing, it'll be a blast for sure. But I'm not going to go into my Discord server and tell my community go ahead and spend $100 on PMR right now, because it's just not ready. I can't do that to my community. But the game has massive potential. Right now, like I said, 4.5 out of 10. The potential is a 10 out of 10 if they can get it there. Hey, what's up, Stig? Yeah, anything higher than the GT3s is bad. Even the GTEs are getting a little bit iffy. I mean, I was in GT3 Evo Huracan at Spa, just to, take a track of familiarity from a track that we know, and just go give it that first test run. And immediately the car felt a little floaty even in the GT3, but it wasn't unmanageable. But I did take the time to properly set my wheel up, right, and that probably made a big difference. I mean, if I would have just jumped on the game and just went with whatever the default settings were for a T300 racing wheel, I can't even imagine how bad it would have been, to be honest, because I turned a lot of those settings right off or down, and I'm kind of glad I did, because, like I said, when you're even driving in a straight line, you feel like you have understeer in the car. I mean, it's a true story. So your wheel's kind of always vibrating and fighting you and shaking a little bit for no reason. So all these dampening features and force feedback smoothing features, turn them all to zero, because all that's going to do is just work your wheel harder and wear it out faster for no reason. But yeah, stay tuned in the Discord server. We're going to set up a PMR section in the Discord server here at GT45 Gaming. We're going to set up a NASCAR section in the GT45 Gaming Discord server as well. And I mean, if we have enough people in the community playing Rensport, we will most certainly set up a Rensport side of the Discord community server as well. But to the best of my understanding, from what I've seen so far, we only have maybe a half a dozen of my members currently with that purchase. So we'll put Rensport on the maybe list here for down the road. But so what does that mean from GT45 Gaming, I guess, over the next little while? Because, I mean, we've been having discussions within our admin team and within the community about what we're going to do for our next, set of championships that are coming up. They'll remain on GT7. I mean, we know GT7 works. It might not be everything we want it to be, but it's better than what we have. So, and I mean, GT7 has, the best graphics on console when it comes to Sims games, and it has currently the best spectator mode available in the sim racing market on console as well. So, can't deny those two very important facts for doing things like I do. And so, I mean, our next championship will remain on GT7. And we'll take it from there. That'll put us back into the first quarter of 2026, and then we'll see. PMR should be in much better shape by then. But unfortunately, like GT7 release, I feel like that their hand was forced a little bit. They were probably getting pressure from the people paying the bills, and release day was here and it had to be dropped, right? Regardless of the shape it was in. It's kind of a similar situation, I think, than what GT was, if I'm being honest. And here we are again as a consumer, paying the price for it. So, I mean, who do we blame, right? Is it worth going and yelling at the devs in the Discord server? I don't think so. They're the guys that were put countless hours, probably sleepless nights, and probably spent many a days away from home from their own families to try and bring us this title. So I'm not going to sit there and go harp on the devs. They're the heart and soul. They're the reason why we even have something to be looking at, driving and testing and live streaming here today. We can't blame them. That's not their fault. It's the people that make the decisions. They're the ones that ultimately I think that should be taking the flack and taking the shit from the community right now. So, community, if you're going to go out there and you're going to give that corrective criticism in the Discord server, please do. But don't call down the devs. Don't be disrespectful to the devs. It's not their fault because they're just like me and you. They have to get up every day. They have to go to work to earn their paycheck, to keep the roof over their head, to keep their bills paid, to keep food in their kids' mouths, just like we do, right? So they're doing a job that they're paid to do, and you can tell that they put effort into it, but I think that they just promise too much, and I think that I think any video game company that promises as much as PMR did is really just setting up for failure, and that's just what it is here today. Is the game a failure? Right now, it kind of seems that way because people are very upset. The overall sim racing community is unhappy, but a lot of that is due to influencers, the content creators out there. Content creators have a lot of power in the gaming world, and their communities are going to take what a content creator says for face value, regardless of whether their opinion is true to what's actually going on or not, right? They're going to follow that opinion of their favorite creator because that's who they follow, that's who they trust, right? So, the content creators have not made it any easier for PMR this week, and I'm just gonna sit here and say, I'm disappointed. The game's not ready yet. It is a weak 4.5 out of 10 for me right now. But I do see the potential and see the foundation and the work put into the game. So I'm hopeful. I'm very, very hopeful. Yeah, they're having issues with the PC version. PC version's in even worse shape than the console versions are currently, which is kind of surprising to me. I mean, you would think that the PC version would roll out much better. Pardon me. Than the console versions would, but that doesn't seem to be the case here today. Does not seem to be the case. Alright, where are we at here? We're at about 3 hours, so unfortunately, we do have to work in the morning, so we do gotta call it a night. We probably won't be back with Project Motor Racing for a couple of days, if I had to guess. I really do want them to roll out the next patch, and then we'll come back in and see what it looks like. The career mode's fine and dandy and all. The race weekend is all fine and dandy and all, but the big question mark for me is the one part of the game that we currently can't play, and that's the multiplayer side of it. So until I can really get into the multiplayer side of things and really put this to a proper test, it's really hard to say. My opinion may change a little bit once we get the multiplayer side open. Once we get some racers into the lobbies and we get racers versus racers and eliminate the AI equation out of the game, it could turn out that we've got an absolutely great platform here for really good door-to-door racing. We just don't know yet. So, I'm not, like I said, I'm not throwing the game in the bin. I'm not saying that it's trash. I'm not saying that it's going to be the worst sim racing game that's ever been created. It's definitely not one of the best sim racing releases ever released, unfortunately, either. But I truly do think that PMR has more potential than GT7 sits currently after 3 years of being on the market and kind of ignoring its community, really, in a sense. So if they listen to the community becomes constructive instead of destructive, and really starts to help the dev team focus in on the really need to be sorted problems first. I think that by Q1 of 2026, we got ourselves a pretty good sim here. So it's hard to judge how good the physics engine really is because we don't have proper force feedbacks. The cars aren't properly dialed into the game yet. Like, it's really hard to give the game a proper rating right now based off of a lot of these factors because there's so many things that just aren't right with the game. So should you buy it right now? Don't go run into the store and don't go buy it right now. It's probably not worth your money. You're going to download it, you're going to play it for 5-10 minutes, 2 hours, 3 hours, and probably 60% of you are going to be quite upset about it and delete it off your system or just not play it, right? So just hang tight, don't go out there. Let us poor content creators continue to take the blunt of the bad release and continue going through the bumps and grinds of patches and updates until it's more playable. We didn't test it on controller. We probably should have tested it on controller. I have plenty of pad racers in my community now. I've seen mixed reviews from pad users today. Some say it's completely undrivable, and some say it's fine to drive if you just, take time to get used to it, take time to tweak your settings, right? So, again, we have lots to figure out. Let's give it a couple days. It's Tuesday today, right? Is that right? Yeah, it's Tuesday today. Wednesday for some of us, I suppose. Hopefully they roll out a patch Thursday, Friday, and we can, hit it again on the weekend here and see if it's gotten a little bit better at least. But in the meantime, I mean, we're just going to call it there. I don't want to continue getting frustrated with how bad the AI is. We are very clearly seeing that the AI is not right yet. And I don't want to affect my career mode because the AI can't race properly. Now, granted, sometimes, a couple of those moves are just out of sheer frustration and just trying to dive in and get through. And, I mean, that's on me, right? And I guess that's kind of the point, but I wouldn't be that frustrated if the AI just gave a proper amount of space when you have proper position, right? So, yeah, I mean, there's just no point right now. Until that multiplayer opens up, there's just no point in continuing to push out content for PMR right now. Because there's just not really a whole lot of content to put out there. I mean, I could sit here and play a career mode for hours and swear at the AI, I suppose, but like I said, I want to enjoy what I'm doing. I want to enjoy what I'm playing, and right now PMR is just not quite there. So we'll just have to wait and see what they do. We'll have to wait and see what we do. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Normally I would have a ARCA race from another community for NASCAR on Wednesdays, but because of the Thanksgiving holiday in the United States this week, that race has been canceled. So I think what we might do is do some maybe NASCAR community lobbies tomorrow night. I think that sounds like a pretty good plan. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and share the stream out, and definitely don't hesitate to let me know what you guys think of the game in the comments, keeping in mind we are trying to keep our streams as family friendly as possible, so keep the comments in the chat honest but as PG as you can, please. It would be greatly appreciated. This is going to be an ongoing discussion in servers all across Discord for the next coming days. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people on the it's crap side of the fence, and there's going to be not so many people on the it's good side of the fence. I'm on the it's disappointing side of the fence, but it has potential. So I'm kind of I'm sitting in the middle. I'm sitting neutral on the game right now. It's unfortunate. Is it worth the price point that it's at right now on release? No, I don't think so. I think this is more, for me being a Canadian, this game, regular price without the high-end bundle is $100, a little over with taxes. Right now, I would say it's about a $50, maybe $60 game Canadian, so call it, call it $40, $45 US game. Is it worth that $75 or $80 price point that's at currently? Yeah, I don't think so. So I wouldn't go running out and spending your money right now on it. I would wait, let them do some work to it, and that's the unfortunate reality of where it is right now. So Miatas are a blast. Like I said, the lower tiered cars are a lot of fun, and I think that there's great potential in the multiplayer side of things with these cars. But until we get the multiplayer side of the game, we can't really determine that. So basically, as soon as they patch up the multiplayer and they've got it running again, we'll get back on, and then we'll go do some open lobby racing, and we'll go get some ranked races in and go check out the part of the game we're really honestly most interested in anyways ourselves. So the career mode is great because it teaches you a couple of things within the game. It teaches you how to get used to the game itself, the physics of the game, the handling of the cars in the game, and each different types of classes and how their characteristics are. So the career mode is a great thing for games like this in that sense. And if you're not familiar with some of the racetracks that are in the game, obviously the career mode is really good for familiarizing yourself with the racetracks. So it is an important part of a sim racing game, I think, in my opinion. I think there needs to be some form of a campaign mode to some extent or another. Every sim racing game seems to have it, and really the sole basis of that is just for you to learn and understand, what you can and can't do with the game and how it works and operates, and of course, recognition of the tracks and the cars. So the career mode is important. So the AI fix is important due to that reason, and obviously getting multiplayer lobbies up and running is important because a large part of the sim racing community is really looking forward to PMR drop because of that multiplayer expectation. So we can't even comment on that right now because we can't even go check it out. So hopefully in the next 48 hours to 72 hours we can bring some multiplayer content out there for our community and for the viewers out there, and we can like I said, hopefully have a more positive thing to say about PMR this week. I mean, I still, like I said, I still have really high hopes. I'm still very excited for what this game can be. But for me to put hours and hours of live content out day in and day out, it's not there yet. So we'll go back to our regular programming for now, and we'll throw PMR into the mix as, like I said, things get adjusted. Check it out, and once it becomes a more of a playable game, we'll start to become more content worthy and become a regular, staple of the page. I honestly hope that this game can even give us 80% of what they promised us over the next little while, because that is more than what GT7 has to offer as a league organizer. So I'm excited about it. It could potentially be the future of what GT45 Gaming does as far as a championship organizer does. So, we're going to stick with it, and we're going to just continue to go through the motions as they continue to try and make it what they promised us, essentially. So, bottom line, winners, don't go running out and buying it right now. Hold on, hang tough. If you have the cash for it and it's not hurting your pocketbook and you want to buy it, I'm not saying don't buy it. Go ahead and buy it. Like I said, the game has a lot of great points to it, has a great foundation. The MX-5s are a blast. They drive pretty much exactly like you expect them to. They could use a little bit of fine tuning. They could be a little bit more loose and on the edge like they are in real life. But other than that, I mean, it's been good for a console game. It has massive potential. Appreciate that sub on the channel, Faith. Hope you're having a fantastic evening or day, depending where it is you're viewing from. We have lots of UK viewers here on the page as well, so it could be very early morning for you, but welcome to the Winner Circle community. I mean, at the end of the day, the page is growing off of commentary and doing live commentary on league racing. For those of us that are members of the page, have been around for a while, it's kind of the bread and butter of what we do here at GT45 Gaming. I've got a great development team and administration staff and behind the scenes at GT45 Gaming as far as designing these championships goes, right down to what we see on the streams. I mean, all the pieces are there for us to produce great spectacular championships. We just need the sim platform to give us what we need to really take it to the next level. the 16 car lobbies ain't doing it for us anymore. We need bigger lobbies, and like I said, that's where PMR really had my attention with a 32 car grid that just opens up a whole new realm of possibilities for us, and we're going to remain hopeful on that. So hopefully, fingers crossed, they you know get to work behind the scenes and sort it out. I suspect that overtime is mandatory right now at Straight Forest Studios, and I feel like there's going to be some very, very, very tired and frustrated developers by the end of the week here. But we should at least see one more patch, hopefully, before the end of the week. But with that being said, chat, we are going to definitely drop it here. I'm on a T300 RS racing wheel with TLCM pedals. The game had zero issue recognizing both the wheel and the pedals. Setup was super easy. I went and watched a quick video on YouTube for a base setup on, the force feedback and all those general details. We set that up, made a couple of minor adjustments to it from there. The wheel feels pretty good. It could be a little bit tighter. I feel like we could get a little bit more response out of the force feedback settings yet, and I'm sure on the higher end wheels, I'm sure that they probably can give a lot more of a descriptive attestment to what needs to be done in the force feedback. Guys that are on the DD Pros, the Moza racing wheels, the new Logitech Thrustmaster direct drive wheels. Those guys are probably can really feel the difference in the force feedback effects as to compared to what I can on my belt driven wheel here. But on the T300 racing wheel, it feels fantastic. Like I said, I had no issues. I had no issues downloading, getting the patch downloaded. I had no issues booting up the game, getting into the game. The UI is a little slow and sluggish, I find, when you're scrolling through the menu. It could be much more responsive and a lot faster. So I hope that that's something they also tend to in the future. And I mean, the UI is a little plain. It's a little lackluster, but I mean, I guess if they can get everything else right around the UI, get the physics dialed in, get the cars dialed in, and get this multiplayer functionality dialed in, get us with that cross compatibility, and get those big lobbies, I don't even care about that minor stuff. So for me, the big thing is what is the multiplayer side going to look like? How well is it going to work? And what happens when we get netcoding and lag issues in the lobby? Does it crash the lobby? Does it kick the player out? Do we get the netcoding that we see on GT7 and we have cars bouncing all over the racetrack? I mean, there's a lot of question marks. What kind of customization do the lobbies really have? What kind of spectator mode does it have while the races are running? What kind of options does the host have? Do the lobbies, can they be set privately, so we don't have randoms coming in? There's a lot of question marks here still. And if I suspect the direction of PMR, we're probably going to end up being and seeing third-party servers to allow the bigger grid sizes, kind of something similar to what ACC does. That could potentially be a direction we may need to go. But I mean, if ACC PS5 can force fill 40 cars in the grid, then I don't see why PMR can't do the 32-car grid either. So the system's capable. The game has the foundations built there for it. It has everything there designed for it. They just got to execute it now. So fingers crossed. Hopefully by the weekend we got a much better shaped game and with some multiplayer content. I mean, what else can we say? Spent a lot of time, talking down GT7 over the last couple of weeks, with the hype of this game coming and it coming soon and me being excited for it. But I mean, I'm just being honest about how I feel about GT7 right now as well. GT7's been out for 3 years and I still feel like that they haven't given us what they promised us upon release as well. And that's 3 years later. So how mad can we really be at PMR, I guess, is the bigger question. We could definitely be upset that they didn't deliver. They didn't even really deliver half of what they promised upon release. As a consumer, we have a right to be upset, but the only way to really fix the problem and sort the problem out is to either just wash your hands of it and completely walk away from it and forget about it, or be constructive and help fix it. So that's what communities do. And if we want proper sim racing titles, then as a community, we need to sit there and help these developers and these companies understand what it is that we really want from these sim racing games, but in a constructive manner. That's what I'm going to continue to try and do. And I'll be in talks with the devs and the stuff in the PMR Discord Discord server when I get an opportunity to actually get my voice in and actually be seen, because I think that they have things there, and I think that, you know, I can relay that feedback from my own community to them in a much more constructive manner, and hopefully that helps them instead of, you know, hurts them in the long run. I just want to see a good game here. I want to see something that gives us bigger grids, updated cars, newer tracks, something different. And, you know, PMR has all of that sitting here right there in front of us. Like I said, they just got to execute it for us now. So hang tough, guys. Hang tough, guys and gals. Don't go running out there and buy it quite yet. Sit on it. Just wait. And, you know, when the creators feel like the game is in better shape, we'll let our communities know that, hey, you know what, PMR is worth buying now. So at the price point it's at right now, it's not worth buying. I can definitely safely say that. As a consumer, I feel a little bit ripped off right now, but as a content creator and a sim racer and a video gamer for my entire life, I also understand the process of how this works nowadays with how we are with digital video gaming. And the moment that we started buying digital copies of video games, we've set ourselves up to have these issues with brand new video games. We've allowed the people that pay and the people that make the decisions give us improper products. So at the end of the day, it kind of comes down to the consumers. The consumers have the power, and we don't use it to our advantage, and we continue to allow companies to produce improper and low quality products, and then use us as the testing system while they make their money off of it, and then they decide whether or not they want to improve it from there. So as the consumers, you know, it's kind of our fault at the end of the day. This is the gaming that we've created, and by us continuing to, you know, support it for the last 10 years now, I mean, we have literally made the standard of what video gaming is today now. So we just have to bite our tongues and bite the bullet, and just go with the progression of how video games are nowadays. They come out mega broken, they fix them, they fix them, they fix them, they fix them, and either they're good or they're not. So that's where we're at with PMR. It's not that AAA breakthrough, gonna change everything sim racing title that a lot of us were hoping for. It is just another game that came out way too early, and now we gotta wait for them to fix it. So potential is there, release day not there. Love y'all, appreciate y'all. Catch y'all on the next one. And remember, stay winning.